Imagine starting a company and then you got fired from it. Sounds crazy and impossible, right? But that's exactly what happens to Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was a visionary entrepreneur who co-founded Apple and changed the tech industry forever. When I say visionary entrepreneur, I mean someone who sees the future even before anyone believes exists. Someone who do not just build product but a revolution. But after all this, he got fired from his own company. Why? Because there were structures he didn't put in place and principles he didn't follow. Because in business, when you don't define your power, someone else will define your downfall. So in this video, I'll be showing you what every visionary and startup founder who are serious about their vision needs to set in place. But before we dive in, let us examine the struggles of Steve Jobs, what actually happened in Apple, and what led to his downfall. Let's get started. So, Steve Jobs co-founded Apple and it was launched 1st of April 1976. Steve Jobs started out Apple with pure fire, creativity, and obsession for perfection. Steve Jobs had a vision and knew how to run the company. But as the company grew, investors, board management wanted control, structure, and predictable profit. So what exactly happened? Back then, Apple had two major products. One was the Apple II and two was the Macintosh, which today we will refer to it as MacBook. So Apple II then was bringing Apple a steady income and profit, while Macintosh was Steve Jobs' innovation. It was not yet tested and proven. So every profit being made from Apple II, Steve Jobs tried to divert them to Macintosh in order to bring his vision to life. And you know, of course, every aim and goal of a company is to make steady and predictable profits. So the board and the investor wanted predictable profit, control, and structure. So when Steve Jobs saw this, he decided to bring in a new CEO into the company. And then he decided to approach the current CEO of Pepsi then, which was John Sculley. John Sculley was the CEO of Pepsi from 1977 to 1983. And as of when Steve Jobs went to approach John Sculley was still the CEO of Pepsi. So Steve Jobs needed a way to win John Sculley over to him so that he would become the CEO of Apple. So he used this legendary statement: will you be selling water sugar for the rest of your life, or you will come with me to change the world? So as we may have it, unfortunately for him, John Sculley accepted the offer and became the CEO of Apple in 1983. And unknowingly to Steve Jobs, this CEO was the one who will later cause his downfall in Apple. So let's explore what happened. So when John Sculley came into Apple, there was a clash of power between Steve Jobs and John Sculley. Who will people listen to? Who will rule the company? Steve Jobs had a vision of Macintosh. It was not yet proven, but John Sculley wanted the company to make profitable income and lead the company to make maximum profit. So there was clash of power between John Sculley and Steve Jobs. So one of these days in the board meeting, there was a vote, and John Sculley said it is either me or Steve Jobs. So then they casted their vote and Steve Jobs was voted out. He wasn't casted out of Apple outrightly. He was moved down to a meaningless role in Apple. After some time, Steve Jobs decided to retire from Apple. So technically, Steve Jobs was removed from Apple because after his clash of vision and power with John Sculley, the board sidelined with John Sculley and they stripped Steve Jobs of all power, influence, and authority in the company. So he had no say. So he had to resign eventually. So now, in order to protect yourself as a visionary and as a startup founder, here are 4 things you have to put in place. Number 1 is your AOA. AOA stands for Article of Association, and this is the legal rule book of your company. It defines how your company is being run, who has power, and what limits exist. Don't just copy and paste an AOA from the internet or use the generic AOA given to you during the registration of your company. Clearly define your rights, your veto power, and protection clauses clearly. That is your constitution. Number 2 is the shareholder agreement. This is the document that defines how the owners of the company relate with each other, who owes what, how decisions are being made. Ensure you have a shareholder agreement that is being written down. Never sign a contract or bring in an investor with just words of mouth. Ensure everything is documented down legally and you have a shareholder agreement with everyone who have shares in your company. Number 3 is the board composition. Don't just fill your board with investors. Balance it with people of loyal mind, people who believe in your vision and can vet and go with you at any time, because the board can hire you or fire you. So choose your board composition or people who are your board wisely. Before we continue with this video, I share insights on tech, startup, and building from scratch. If you are interested, you can check the link in the description and subscribe with your mail to my newsletter. 1 mail in a week. No spam, no flop. And number 4 is equity structure. Keep enough ownership and control. Remember, equity is your steering wheel. If you give too much away, you'll be in the vehicle, but someone else will be driving the vehicle. Remember, vision without control is vulnerability. So ensure that your AOA, your board composition, your equity structure, and shareholder agreement are all set in place to protect you as a visionary and startup founder. I just shared a surface level of it, and there are many more to it and many things to learn about starting a company and growing a company as a visionary and a startup founder. Steve Jobs started Apple, but he lost it once because he did not protect his vision with structure. Don't let passion blind your power. Build the company, but remember to build the cage that guides your throne. Build your dream, guide your control, or watch someone or run the empire you started. If not subscribed to the YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and also click the notification bell.